All right, what is going on, guys? Good morning. Well, stage 8. We are officially on the tail end of the Dakar Rally in 2025. And so a couple of things going on with this one. We didn't do the stage preview last night. I decided to roll it up into one episode. Had a lot going on yesterday, so I figured, well, you know what? Let's just do the whole thing in the morning. First thing was waiting for the bikes and everything to finish up, and that just happened. So let's talk a little bit briefly about the stage preview, and then we'll get into the results for you guys really quick. So today's stage, or stage number 8, the stage that these guys were just completing, bright and early. I'll put the graphic up on the screen for you guys. So 72-kilometer road section, so liaison, the commute to the start line. And then after that, it was a 484-kilometer stage for the bikes, 488 kilometers for the vehicles. The vehicles actually finishing up the stage a little quicker than the bikes. But there was a little bit of a mix-up in the order. I was thinking that it was going to be a red tide, all Honda podium, but something happened on the stage. So we'll talk about that here in just a minute. So very well split up, 178-kilometer commute back to the bivouac for a total of 734 kilometers for the day. So a very long day for these guys yet again. So no short stages, or, well, relatively speaking, there haven't been any short stages on the Dakar pretty much ever, other than the prologue and usually the last day, which is roughly about 100 kilometers. So it just depends on the years and how it goes, but usually every stage is a really long stage unless it gets canceled or shortened due to weather or some other outside influence, but not as often. So from there, let's go over to the makeup of the course this time around. So asphalt 0%, dirt track 72% for these guys, 15% sand, 6% dunes, and 7% gravel. So a little bit of mixture of everything for them, proving to be a challenging stage. From the stage preview, they were talking a little bit about how the navigation was going to be tricky in certain sections. It's really, really cool. They break it down. I'll actually show you guys here on the screen a quick graphic of what a stage breakdown looks like from the organization. But they break it down between sections, talking about, you know, how the tracks are, say, for instance, kilometer 55 to kilometer 90, alternating fast stony tracks with less fast tracks and vegetation. That's that fun camel grass. Tricky navigation on that first stint from the depart special stage or the start line up to about kilometer 55. So they break it down in sections. Obviously, they can't give too much away of the course, but this gives the riders an idea of what they're going to be up against for the following day. So that's what this graphic is for there that you're seeing on the screen, talking about the general description. So very awesome that they do that kind of stuff in order to keep the riders at least somewhat informed of the stage and what these guys are facing. It helps them relay this to all of the competitors in case there's questions of it. They may prepare differently. They may set up the bike differently depending on what that stage description says. It could have different settings, whether it's a dunes day or if it's just straight up fast gravel, that kind of thing. So Mason did allude to something like that, having 2 different sets of suspension. The suspension for a dune type setup will be different than a suspension for a fast, flat out type stage. So I'm sure the factory teams are doing something similar. Even if it's not a different set of suspension, it is at least they have spring rates. They have different things that they would do just to make sure that they keep the bike performing at its best. With that being said, talking about performances. So let's jump into the results right now. This was definitely an interesting stage. First off, we will report with the news that Pablo Quintanilla unfortunately had a big off on the stage and hurt his shoulder. Will not be able to continue the 2025 Dakar Rally. So unfortunately, it's how it goes. Let's get the results queued up here. So unfortunately, it's one of the Honda riders down. We already know that Mason departed on stage 7. Unfortunately, in that one, I did get a message from them this morning. You know, Mason was in good spirits as much as he could be. You know, it is a bummer. Apparently, this stage 7 seems to be the unlucky number 7. For him last year, the same, having to withdraw from the rally. Engine troubles this time around, and it was a sudden failure. So they knew, and there was a strategy for engine management, and it just came a little bit earlier than they had anticipated. And so obviously, I got to say, it's tough to talk about that stuff because, you know, you think about like, okay, well, you know, this is the Dakar. They shouldn't be, you know, doing this, and that. Well, the truth is they should be, because this is the biggest race. This is the biggest proving ground ever. And I don't think that Cove would be where they were had they not had the results getting up to this point, right? Everybody with the Gen 1 bike, I think a lot of people took that into consideration. Hey, you put 3 brand new bikes with 3 riders that have never competed in a rally raid and sent them through the Dakar, and all 3 bikes finished. And then back that up with some of the faster riders here in the States, riding and competing in those in the Sonora Rally, and then turning around and riding them at the Nora Rally, and with the same bike. The proven track record of the engine is there. Now, okay, we've got an engine, we've got a frame, we've got a bike that handles very well, and now it's time to push it a little bit further. So the engine package is being pushed on par with the horsepower of the Rally factory replicas from KTM. So KTM obviously has been doing this for a very long time. They have their engine package together. Cove is not far behind. And considering that this company is only 3 years old as far as competing in the Dakar versus somebody like KTM that's been competing for much longer, you think about companies like Yamaha when they first started in the Dakar, BMW when they first started in the Dakar. All of these brands had issues with their vehicles, I should say, issues with their motorcycles, but then were sorted out and then became a force to reckon, a force to deal with. So they're on their way. It's a bummer to see it. Mason was obviously showing that the bike had pace. It could keep up front. It could do it. It was a good enough bike for a podium, but you're depending on every single last bolt and component to make it there with you. And so unfortunately, this time it was one of those situations. But anyway, so let's talk about the podium. That is over for the review there on that one. Let's talk how this was going down. So earlier I mentioned, and that's why I had to wait for doing the results until right now, 5:56 in the morning as we speak, or as I'm recording this, was Quintanilla had an off. And in the sport of rally, when somebody has an off, the next bike is required to stop. The next competitor is required to stop, ensure that everybody is okay. If they require some kind of medical attention, they are allowed to continue there with them. And it is known that they will receive a credit in time. So the first bikes had finished it, and that was looking like a podium, all Honda podium for these guys, and ended up being, it was Tasha Sharena, Ricky Brabeck, and Skylar Howes all on the podium for the stage. Sorry, I'm trying to get the Dakar app to load here, and it's not cooperating with me. So it was looking like that, but then they had not finalized it, and a few minutes later they finalized it, and then it showed Luciano Benavides as your stage winner for stage number 8, and then accompanied by Adrian Van Beveren. Both riders stopped to help Pablo Quintanilla, so both riders receiving some credit back. So that is why I was thinking, okay, well, everybody's through the end of the special. How come they haven't reported, a winner, at least a provisional winner? And that was why. So you had both Pablo Quintanilla down on the ground, unfortunately, and you had Adrian Van Beveren helping, and then you also had Luciano Benavides helping as well. So they received their time back, which put them at the top of the podium, 1 and 2. Let's go over to the rankings to the live. Yeah, so you have Luciano Benavides finishing up with a time of 4 hours, 50 minutes, and 46 seconds. Then you have Adrian Van Beveren right behind him, 4 hours, 52 minutes, and 54 seconds. Then you've got a 2-minute gap there between Van Beveren and Benavides for the stage. Tasha Sharena in the number 3 spot, 4 hours, 53 minutes flat, 2:14 for him. And then picking up 4 minutes and 22 seconds. So interesting enough, that time of bonus time in this particular case is helping Tasha stay where he's at. He would be right now running 4th or 5th. He would be running 5th if that was not the case. So very interesting how that bonus time works. It was actually all the way down to 3rd and 4th if there was no bonus time and if things would have stayed the same. But like I said, Luciano Benavides and Adrian Van Beveren stopping to assist Quintanilla gave him some credit back. So that is your top 3 for the stage number 8 on the bikes. Let's take a look at the rest of the field, 4 through 10. We've got Ricky Brabeck in the number 4 spot on the Monster Energy Honda, finishing 4 hours, 55 minutes, and 7 seconds back, 4 minutes and 21 seconds behind Luciano Benavides. Skylar Howes on the Monster Energy Honda, 4 hours, 55 minutes, and 45 seconds for him. He's 4:59 back. Darty in that number 6 spot on the BAS World KTM Racing Team. And interesting enough, in the Rally 2 category, going to be 4 hours, 57 minutes, and 14 seconds for him, 6:28 back in the number 7 spot. Your overall leader at the moment, Daniel Sanders, on the Red Bull KTM Factory Racing bike, 4 hours, 57 minutes, and 30 seconds. He is 6:44 back. From there, you've got Edgar Canet in that number 8 spot, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. He is 4:57.57 back, 7 minutes and 11 seconds behind the leader on the stage. In the number 9 spot from Chile, Nacho Cornejo on the Hero Motorsports Team Rally bike, 4 hours, 58 minutes, and 19 seconds, finishing 7:33 back. And then rounding out your top 10 is Gonçalves on the Sherco Rally Factory bike, 5 hours, 4 minutes, and 59 seconds for him, 14:13 back. So a little bit of a gap there. Very interesting to see how it goes. Let me take a quick look at here. Niels Therick with the Cove, no stranger to the top 20, doing very well so far this rally. 5 hours, 11 minutes, 28 seconds with 20 minutes and 42 seconds back. Jacob Argybright finishing up 20th on the RS Moto Honda Rally team, 5 hours, 14 minutes, and 19 seconds, finishing 23:33 back. Then let's see here. All right, so that is your motorcycles. That is your top 10 for the stage number 8. Okay, so stage number 8. Through stage number 8, your provisional overall results. Daniel Sanders, 44 hours, 26 minutes, and 52 seconds for him. He's capitalized now on 22 minutes of bonus time throughout this rally so far. So very well done there. That definitely helping things out because now you've got Tasha Sharena picking up a few more minutes on stage number 8. So he had lost a few minutes to Sanders through stage 7, now through stage 8, picking up those minutes back. So he's now back into that 10 and 11 minute range behind Daniel Sanders. So 44 hours, 37 minutes, and 55 seconds. With the also side note is that Daniel Sanders picking up his 6th stage win. So as he climbs the rankings for the most stage wins in a single event on a bike. So we'll see where he ranks on that one, but very well done there. Anyway, all right. So Tasha Sharena in the number 2 spot, we know 11 minutes back. And then you got Adrian Van Beveren in the number 3 spot. He is going to be 21 minutes and 31 seconds back. So still a little bit of a gap there between him and Sharena, but it's still plenty of stages to go. I mean, I say plenty, it's only about 4 more stages to go. 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 more stages to go. 3 of them really are going to be the competitive ones because by the time you get to the last stage, it's very difficult to make up any kind of time. So still anybody's game as we see, Pablo Quintanilla running really, really strong and then, obviously having an off. So that is the Dakar and that is the terrain. And the more kilometers, the more likely it'll to happen. So let's continue on down your top 10 right now, overall provisional results. Because remember, these results have not been made official until all of the protests, everything is all taken care of. I can tell you they are operating now almost a full day behind as I'm barely seeing the stuff for stage number 6. So let's take a look now at the rest of the field here. In the number 4 spot, Luciano Benavides, today's stage winner, 44 hours, 57 minutes, and 40 seconds for him. He's going to be 30 minutes and 48 seconds back. Ricky Brabeck in the number 5 spot on the Monster Energy Honda, 44, 57, and 48 seconds, 30 minutes and 56 seconds back. So not bad there. He is on Benavides' toes. We're looking at a gap of less than 10 seconds, about 8 seconds between those guys. So very, very close. Skyler House in the number 6 spot. He is going to be about 7 minutes back from Ricky Brabeck on that Monster Energy Honda. 45 hours, 3 minutes, 55 seconds. He is 37.03 out of the lead. And then Nacho Cornejo in the number 7 spot, Hero Motorsports Rally Team. 45 hours, 20 minutes, 24 seconds. He's going to be 53.32 back. And then Edgar Canet in the number 8 spot in Rally 2, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. 45 hours, 47 minutes, and 54 seconds. 1 hour, 21 minutes, and 2 seconds back. And then Tobias Epster in the number 9 spot, BAS World KTM Racing Team. 46 hours, 19 minutes, 5 seconds for him. He is going to be 152 and 13 seconds back. And rounding out the top 10 overall at the moment, Stefan Svitko in that number 10 spot, Slanoff Rally Team. 46 hours, 24 minutes, and 33 seconds. He's going to be 1 hour, 57 minutes, and 41 seconds back. So long way to go on that one. And then let's take a look down the line here. Neil Sterick in the number 14 spot, Cove Factory Racing. He is going to be 14th currently, 47 hours, 26 minutes, and 44 seconds for him, sitting at about just 3 hours, just shy of 3 hours out of the lead. Taking a look back. Let's see. Jacob Argybright currently 23rd, 49 hours, 21 minutes, and 45 seconds for him. So very well done. It is a long way to get to the end of this event. And, well, these guys are almost there. So taking a look around, let's see what we got here. Taking a look at some more names. Picking up some people. All right, let's take a look at the vehicles. So that is your bike's provisional overall results through stage 8. Let's take a look at the cars and see what that is shaping up to be. Let's go to the stage. No stranger to the podium, and I think he's going to set a record on this one. It is Latigan finishing up with a 4-hour, 51-minute, and 54-second stage time with a 2-minute penalty. Not good. Botterhill in the number 2 spot, 4 hours, 53 minutes, and 41 seconds for him. 1 minute and 47 seconds out of the lead. And then Seradori in that number 3 spot, Century Racing Factory Team, 4 hours, 55 minutes, and 58 seconds, followed by with a 4-minute and 4-second gap there out of the lead. So that is your top 3 for the vehicles overall classification. Let's take a look at the top 10 on this one. You have got Baragawanta, Century Racing Factory Team, 4 hours, 56 minutes, and 3 seconds. Then Nanny Roma in the number 5 spot, Ford M Sport, 4:57 and 11 seconds. Finishing up 5 minutes, 17 seconds back. Al Raji in the number 6 spot, Overdrive Racing, 4 hours, 57 minutes, and 14 seconds. Followed by Prokop in the number 7 spot, Orlan Jipokar Team. You've got 4 hours, 58 minutes, and 13 seconds for him. Ferreira in the number 8 spot, X-Raid Mini JCW Team, 4 hours, 58 minutes, and 36 seconds for him. Then Bacalusia in that number 9 spot, Overdrive Racing, 4 hours, 58 minutes, and 38 seconds. And then Seth Quintero finishing up that top 10 in the number 10 spot with that Toyota Gazoo Racing, 5 hours, 16 seconds, finishing 8 minutes and 22 seconds out of the lead. Nasser Al-Attiyah in the number 11 spot, Christina Gutierrez in the number 12 spot, both on the Dacia Sandrider teams, finishing up 5:04 and 5:05 respectively. Let's take a look here. Who else we got? Mitch Guthrie and Kellen Walsh in the number 15 spot, finishing up with a time of 5 hours, 7 minutes, 32 seconds, finishing 15:38 back. Taking a look further down. Let's see how these guys are doing. That is your top 10 on the stage 4 cars. Let's take a look at the overall, see how that's looking. Latigan still making it happen up the front. 42 hours, 5 minutes, and 2 seconds. And then you got Al Raji in the number 2 spot in that Overdrive Racing Toyota. We got 42 hours, 10 minutes, 43 seconds for him, 5 minutes and 41 seconds back. So it's not over. And then you've got in the number 3 spot, Mattias Ekstrom in that number 3, Ford M Sport, 42 hours, 33 minutes, and 57 seconds. He's going to be 28:55 back. Taking a look at the rest of the field here, 4 through 10, you have got Nasser Al-Attiyah and the Dacia Sandriders team, 42 hours, 39 minutes, and 16 seconds, followed by Mitch Guthrie and Kellen Walsh in the number 5 spot, Ford M Sport, 43 hours flat, 41 seconds. He is going to be 55 minutes and 39 seconds ahead of the lead. Seradori in that number 6 spot, Century Racing Factory Team, 43 hours, 3 minutes, and 26 seconds. Then it is Jacopini in the number 7 spot, Overdrive Racing, 43 hours, 37 minutes, and 13 seconds. Followed by Seth Quintero in the number 8 spot, going to be in that Toyota Gazoo Racing Toyota. We've got 43 hours, 41 minutes, and 56 seconds. He is 136 back. Ferreira in the number 9 spot, X-Raid Mini JCW Team, 44 hours, 10 minutes, 9 seconds. Going to be 2 hours and 5 minutes back. And then you've got, rounding out the top 10, Baragawantha in that number 10 spot, Century Racing Factory Team, 44 hours, 16 minutes, and 49 seconds for him. So that is the top 10 currently at the moment. Running 10th overall and leader in the SSV category, you have got Brock Hager and Max Eddy in that Sebastian Loeb Racing RZR Factory Racing car. 47 hours, 33 minutes, and 59 seconds. They are 5 hours and 28 minutes out of the overall. So very well done for them. That is the highest ranking SSV or UTV at the moment. So those are your vehicles. That is the top 10 overall as they sit provisionally after stage number 8. So stage number 9 going to be coming up a little bit later today. So looking forward to it as we are in that last third of the rally. And well, I think it's going to be a good one. We've got a lot of A lot of miles to go, brutal miles to go on the bike itself or on the bikes. The vehicle's taking it a little bit easier or having it a little easier. I think the trickier part is in the dunes with the vehicles, as they have, I think they're more susceptible to going over and yard sailing things. So I don't know. We'll see. So what do you guys think? Are we going to start to do some predictions here? Are we going to see Daniel Sanders pick up the win at the 2025 Dakar Rally? Will we see an all Honda podium? I don't know. A lot remains to be seen, but we're going to wrap it up there, guys. We will get on to the next episode. We will see you guys a little bit later today for the stage number 9 preview and breaking all of that down. So in the meantime, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, do all of that fun stuff. And yeah, don't worry. It'll make sense when you get there. Enjoy the ride.